Welcome to Las Vegas, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to this Showtime Boxing special edition of May Day Live as we approach the Showtime pay-per-view tonight between Floyd Mayweather and Robert Guerrero. We're here in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Nearly 17,000 fans expected for a huge night of championship boxing, culminating with the return of Floyd Money Mayweather. And hi, everybody, I'm Brian Kenny. Tonight, the climax of a great three-week stretch that has changed the landscape of three of boxing's best divisions and side-by-side as well. 2 weeks ago, nearly 40,000 fans in San Antonio. Canelo Alvarez, Austin Trout for the World Championship at 154 pounds. Last week in Brooklyn, Danny Garcia defended his 140-pound titles against Zab Judah. And tonight, it's the welterweight championship of the world. Floyd Mayweather returns after nearly 1 full year away from the ring. He will face a rugged and poised Robert Guerrero for the world title at 147 pounds. A full night of boxing. Take a look at the card. The main event, Floyd Mayweather, #1 pound for pound, taking on Robert Guerrero. The WBC and Ring Magazine welterweight titles are on the line. The co-feature is also a championship fight. Daniel Ponce de Leon defends his WBC featherweight title against two-division champ Abner Mares. Leo Santa Cruz moves up to junior featherweight against a former champ Alexander Munoz, and unbeaten Las Vegas middleweight Jalen Love fights Gabriel Rosado. It all starts 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and is available only on Showtime pay-per-view. But we have live boxing for you right now, right here in Las Vegas. Let's go ringside and welcome in Barry Tompkins and Steve Farhood.
All right, thanks very much, Brian. Well, having had the opportunity to do a lot of these mega fights over the course of time, I really believe, Steve, there's just nothing else like it in the world of sports. You know, it's the culmination of weeks worth of conversation, weeks worth of bravado, weeks worth of verbal jousting. And when the crowd, not only here, but the crowd at home, gets his first glimpse of the main event fighters, Mayweather and Guerrero tonight, the reaction actually is truly, it's palpable. I really don't think there's anything else like it in sports.
I share your feelings, Barry. What this scene in Las Vegas reminds me of is that boxing is very much a star sport, and Floyd Mayweather is by far the #1 star in that sport. In fact, going to #2, it's a long stretch. At this point, Mayweather's fighting for history. We know that. But there's a perceived vulnerability. He's 36 years old. The Cotto fight, he did a couple of months in jail, and he hasn't fought in a year. So is Guerrero in the right spot at the right time? As usual, Barry, there's no lack of drama in a Mayweather fight.
Not at all. And, of course, every star has to have an opening act. And that's what we're here to talk about right now. Our first fight of the evening, actually taking place amongst the trainers right behind us right now. But when we really get going, it's going to be Badou Jack and Michael Benga. These guys are in the light heavyweight division, although both of them came in 5 pounds lighter than the limit in that division. For Badou Jack, he's an undefeated guy, although he should get tested tonight. Jack has had 13 professional fights. He has won them all. Very definitely, Steve, falls into that category of prospect.
No doubt. We've seen him on Showbox. He's a rising fighter, and the super middleweight division is where he'll eventually be. And what makes him different, Barry, he's from Sweden. And boxing was illegal in Sweden from 1969 to only 3 or 4 years ago. And he's also an Olympian. He fought for Gambia, which is where his father was. So he had a big amateur career.
Well, this is a fight with a very clear international flavor. Michael Benga is a guy well-traveled. He's from Nigeria, but he really started to box in Ghana, which he said, I can walk to Ghana from Nigeria. He does have 13 wins, and they've all come by way of knockout, but that could be a little bit deceiving.
Well, you saw on the graphic a second ago that in his U.S. debut, he fought Andre Durrell. They didn't do him any favors. He's in tough again against an undefeated prospect tonight. He's a stayer, he's a laster, he's strong. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the real test for him. Let's take a look at the numbers, the tail of the tape, and see how these two match up, Steve.
Well, Barry, both these guys have very long reaches for this division, but Jack wants to get close so he can pound the body. That's his signature move. So I don't think that his tiny reach advantage is going to come into play at all tonight.
And Benga, of course, was dropped by a body shot from Andre Durrell in his last fight. Take a look at the rules as they apply to this fight and most of the evening.
These are the unified rules. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the ref can stop the fight. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. And the fight becomes official after 4 rounds. Before that, it's a no decision.
All right, so it is an all-star night. We get started with this one in the light heavyweight division. And for the introduction to the fighters, let's go for the first time tonight to the center of the ring and the ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr. Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you and welcome to the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. As we have a big night of action in store for you, we present our special edition of Showtime Boxing, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, Golden Boy Promotions, and Showtime. We are sponsored by Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day, AT&T, Piensa Sin Límites, 140 Years Under the Hood, Valvoline, and Star Trek Into Darkness in theaters May 17th, brought to you by Paramount Pictures and Skydance Productions. At this time, we present our 3 judges scoring this bout from ringside, all from Las Vegas, Nevada: Bob Bennett, Tim Cheatham, and Al Lefkowitz. Introducing our 3rd man of the ring, our referee in charge of the bout, Russell Mora. All right, fans, here we go. 10 rounds of boxing scheduled in our light heavyweight special attraction. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue trunks with white trim, fighting out of Silver Springs, Maryland, by way of Accra, Ghana. He weighed in at 170 pounds even. His hard-hitting record stands at 13 wins, with 7 losses. But all 13 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Michael Benga. His opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the blue corner in this 10-round attraction, wearing orange trunks with black trim, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 170 pounds even. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with a record of 13 wins, no losses, with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Badu Jack. Once again, a referee in charge, Russell Mora, now to give instructions.
Center ring. Okay, trunks here are good, trunks here are good. Anything below this line is a foul. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to remind you, protect yourself at all times, obey my commands at all times. God bless. Touch up.
And with that, we're set to go with our first fight of the evening on this night of Floyd Mayweather and Robert Guerrero. 17,000 people will be on hand for the main event.
And Badu Jack, part of the money team, promoted by Floyd Mayweather.
Jack, a guy who says, once I get him hurt, he's gone. And he has shown that he is a pretty good finisher. As the Benga, he says, I'm a boxer, that's what I do, and that's what I'll do here.
And let's get this in right away. Happy birthday, Michael Benga.
That's right, 34 years old.
Today. Interesting, I'm watching them stepping on their feet a little bit early. You don't usually see that with righty against righty.
No.
Well, Benga not wasting any time throwing that right hand. That's his ticket. I mean, he's not going to outbox Badu Jack. He reaches with that right hand sometimes, and that's where Jack can maybe get under the punch and punch the body with a counter shot.
Not a bad first round so far, though, for Benga. A little off balance with some of his punches.
Let go. Watch your head. Watch your head.
Nothing big. Nothing big. Rush round, Mike Marathon. Mike Marathon.
Jack has a lot of the skills you'd expect from a top amateur who fought in the Olympics. He leads with his jab, even though he's a body puncher and wants to get close. He always comes in behind his jab. He's a better offensive fighter than a defensive fighter. So we'll see how many times Benga can land that right hand.
Jack getting a little sharper with that jab, but by and large, pretty good first round for Benga.
Yeah, he's keeping a distance, and that's making Badu Jack come in, not giving him the shots he wants. Hasn't really been any good work to the body yet from Badu Jack.
Nice right hand by Jack there.
Break! Step back. Step back. Step back.
1 minute remaining here in the first round. This fight scheduled for 8.
Benga is reaching with his jab and bending over a little when he throws it.
Stop!
Would look like he'd be set up for a counter left hook.
Yeah, very much so. And he has tendency to drop his hands, too.
Yeah, he's a little on the wild, unpolished side. Just a strong guy.
A good short right hand slipped in by Jack.
Stop! Let go.
Only 21 amateur fights for Benga.
Keep your hands free. Keep your hands free.
Well, he's from, as we said, from Nigeria, but nice uppercut slipped in by Benga. But got a little bit more of a hotbed of boxing, and he went there, moved there with his uncle. Been in the United States now for 2 years.
Keep him free. Hands free. Stop! Let go.
And to 1.
Look. Perfect. All I need is more jab, double and triple, head movement, and the body. He don't like the body shots. But I need your hands coming back up. Stop leaving your hands down. Double, triple jab, head movement, and body shot. That's all I need.
Stay right there and wait. Okay? All right? All right? Don't stay there and wait. Don't stay there and wait. Okay? Come on, use the jab. Use the jab good. Okay? Hard jab, hard right hand. Go to the body too, because he's long. He can't take it, man. He's a young dude. He can't take it. Come on, let's go, baby. Relax in there.
Well, in Badu Jack's corner, the voice of Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, a very wise man in this sport.
And I love the marriage between Eddie Mustafa as the trainer of Badu Jack for a couple of reasons. One is Eddie's a master motivator.
Stop!
That's a slip. Yeah, and Badu Jack's a kind of a mellow guy, so I like the fact that Eddie can light his fire. And the other thing is Badu Jack's a good body puncher. And
No, watch your elbow.
Eddie was one of the best body punchers, former light heavyweight champion of the world.
Right.
One of the best body punchers of his era.
Hands free. Hands free. Stop! Let go. Let go.
Well, both corners wanting their man to work the body. We'll see who can get it done here in round 2. Round 1, close round.
Yeah, it was. It was 21-16 connect edge, show stats for Badu Jack. But Badu Jack only threw 43 punches. He's got to get a little busier.
That was a nice short left hand by Jack. And as you indicated earlier, Benga has a tendency to lunge, and that's what he did. And he got caught.
He looks a little shaky, but he's an awkward guy to begin with. It's hard to tell if he's hurt or just being awkward.
Those punches from very odd angles.
Let go. Let go.
You pointed it out, but he leaves himself there for counter punches.
And when Eddie Mustafa Barry called for body punching for Badu Jack, he told Badu, he said he doesn't like it to the body, and the old response is, who does?
Yeah, exactly.
I love when trainers say that.
Hands free. Hands free.
But right now, I think the reason Badu Jack's not busier with anything other than the jab is because of the awkwardness of his opponent. Look at that, he's falling in there and jumping in, holding.
Watch your heads, guys. Watch your heads.
Russell Mora has warned both fighters about headbutts here. And the way Benga does lunge in, there is a real danger of that.
Yeah, Benga just faked a right hand and threw a left, and he was totally squared up when he did it. He's a very awkward guy.
No.
That's a slip.
Over there. Give me gloves. Don't push him down.
With legitimate not. Ooh, there's the left hook.
Left hand, yeah.
Let go. Let go. Okay, stop. Let go.
Good right hand that time. That staggered Benga.
Watch your heads, guys. Watch your heads.
Still 30 seconds to go, and Jack's starting to get there now. Another right hand.
Connect. That was a big body shot. Jack's not going to be able to do as much to the body because Benga's not going to let him. Benga's going to grab and smother him on the inside. So Jack's learning and fighting smartly by counter-punching and landing shots from a distance, power shots.
Well, it was a body shot that really did the damage in Benga's fight with Andre Durrell. Never recovered from a second-round body shot, even though he went 10 rounds.
Time!
Action from round 2. Watch the right hand. And Badu Jack's eyes were closed when he threw that punch, but it landed. And then later in the round, look at that awkward lead right and then jumping in with the left hand. And good for Badu Jack in that he made Benga pay for that very, very amateurish move right there. Right a little bit to the back of the head, but not an illegal punch because Benga turned his head as Badu Jack was throwing that shot. So a much better round for Badu Jack.
Absolutely.
He can't get out the way of that. Take a drink. All right, he can't get out the way of that jab. I need that jab pumping, baby, all right? Very simple. Sorry, baby. There you go.
It was very simple for Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. So this is round 3 of this 8-rounder. He had the idea that Jack was starting to figure Benga out in that second round. Just missed with the right hand.
Watch your head. Stop.
Well, Benga is a counterpuncher's dream because he's reaching, his hands are not coming back after he punches, and his chin is totally exposed. So Jack would be smart to let Benga do a little bit of work
and then
jump in with his power shots.
Well, Benga told us he's still working on things. I mean, good overhand right.
Hands free, guys. Get him up. Stop! No. Get him up. Get him up.
Come on, Mike, work.
You asked him if he was 100% in our meetings yesterday, and he said, I'm close to 100%. That could be interpreted in several ways.
And the power shots, this is a running total. You see last round, very high percentage for Badu Jack and only 4 landed for Benga. That told the story right there of the second round. Clearly a very strong round for Jack.
Go, hands free, guys, hands free.
And Eddie Mustafa Muhammad calling for that jab. He wants more and more jabs.
Keep your hands free.
Why not?
Keep your hands free.
Midway through round 3. This is where Benga does not want to be.
Key moment in the fight because it's the first time Badu Jack, first time he could get to the body. Stationary target.
And it was a very good left hand to the body. And another.
No, let him go. No holding. Stop!
Well, Benga's made a name for himself in his career.
That was a huge shot, and it just dropped him. Huge shot, very similar to the shot that Durrell hit him with.
4, 5, 6, 7.
He may not make this.
9. No. You okay? You want to come? You want a box? No, sir. That was fair. It was right here. You want a box? Do you want a box?
Fight's over.
No. I understand that.
I don't believe it was low, at least from my viewpoint.
Barry, I saw the same way. You know, it was right on the waistband, if not a little above it.
It was a little low. Okay. Is it starting to feel a little better right now? Okay. We'll check it in the back, all right? Anything else? What do you mean?
So there's your winner, Badu Jack, and I believe a legitimate win. I'm not sure that shot was low. I'm sure we'll have an opportunity to see it, but from this vantage point where we sit and watching it live, did not look low.
And Russell Moore was asking Benga questions and not getting the right answers. In fact, Benga wasn't answering at all, so that's why the fight was stopped.
No, he just kept saying it was low, it was low, it was low. Russell Moore asked him if he wanted to continue.
It took a while for Benga to open up to get the body shots in for Badu Jack, but once he did, boy.
Here's an opportunity to look at it, see what you think.
Well, first you have to determine where the hips are, where the belly button is. That's clearly above the waistband.
Absolutely.
And as advertised, Jack to the body. And again, not from in close, but a longer shot. And that's not easy. There are not a lot of fighters today who can do that, who can land big body shots from ring center from a distance. Pretty impressive shot.
Yeah, absolutely. That fight going almost exactly as advertised.
What round was that? Second?
It was third.
No, the only time Benga had been down was, as Barry mentioned, a body shot from Andre Durrell in his previous fight.
Good. You say? They said it was good. I know the local.
So again, let's take a look at it.
One more look. You see that it is a counter shot. First Badu Jack counters with the left hand, misses, and there's a nice close-up. And that punch landed above that word title on the waistband of Benga's trunks. Not even close. It's clearly a legitimate punch. Took all the wind out of him, a little delayed reaction, which you often see with body punches, and good call by Russell Mora.
Yeah, I thought it was too. And in the fighter's instructions, the referee almost always will allow that half-inch or inch or so onto the belt itself. But that was clearly a legal punch. Let's go to Jimmy Leonard Jr. We'll make all of this official in our first fight of the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 2 minutes, 26 seconds in round number 3. Our referee in charge, Russell Mora, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout, Badu Jack.
So Badu Jack now 14-0 with a third round stoppage on an excellent body shot. Getting a reputation as a good body puncher. That's what he told us he does best, and sure enough he did.
Interesting prospect to keep watching because he throws to the body. A Swede with a trainer from Brooklyn.
Yeah, so one of those names once again, tuck it away. You'll see him again, Badu Jack. He's now 14-0, 10 knockouts along the way. Well, more preliminary reaction still to come on Showtime Boxing's special edition. But first, let's get you right back upstairs to Brian Kenny. BK?
Barry, thank you so much. I have to just add, though, I'm not crazy about the way Russell Mora called the end of that fight, and basically kind of like a belligerent umpire saying it, you're ready to go, and then suddenly just waves him off. I wouldn't see him doing that in a main event or against maybe a bigger name fighter. I think you have to give your guy a chance to step forward and actually continue the fight. Either way, again, for Jack, a legitimate victory, but he could have handled it with a little more discretion there. We're just getting underway here in Las Vegas as we approach the big fight, Showtime pay-per-view between Floyd Mayweather and Mayweather-Guerrero. Before we get to our next live fight, here's a look at what's coming up here on Showtime in June.
You got a name?
Ray Donovan.
Jesus, Ray Donovan?
Hell yeah, you the man.
If Donovan goes down, he comes back harder.
The bag or the bat? Everybody be nice.
I saw plenty of shots in there that would definitely lead to a disqualification. It's rough even for a boxing crowd. All right, a Mayweather card brings out, of course, the big stars. It's quite a scene, and we have some cast members from Ray Donovan right now. Let's go poolside to Heidi Andral.
Thank you so much, Brian. Well, it is the countdown to Mayday Live, Mayweather-Guerrero. And as you just said, Brian, it has brought the stars all the way out to the pool with me here. Liev Schreiber, of course, and John Voight joining us from Ray Donovan. Before we get into the show, first, I hear some big news that you guys are big-time boxers. Training out at Canelo's gym.
I think big-time boxers would be a bit of an exaggeration. The Donovans are a fighting family, and John, Eddie, and Dash and I have done our best to train, and we've been fortunate enough to work at Wildcard West with Canelo and Kid Chocolate and Ray Beltran. It's been a treat.
How would you rate your skills?
I don't think they even deserve rating at this point.
How would you rate John's skills?
John's been doing this a while. John, as you all probably know, has done a couple of boxing films, so he's in pretty great shape.
You are a Hollywood fixer in this film. How would you describe your character, and what can fans expect?
Ray's a very complicated guy. He makes it possible for very rich and glamorous people to do things they shouldn't do, and he also fixes problems for people who need problems fixed. It's a wonderful show. We're having a great time doing it. we're nearing the end of our first season, and it's been really exciting.
Well, we are all looking forward to seeing it. Now, I know that you actually play Ray Donovan's father, John. Will you explain the dynamic of your character?
Well, you can certainly see that I look like his father.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Yeah. Well, I play his dad who gets out of prison in the first episode and creates a little mayhem for the family. And Ray doesn't want me to be close to my grandchildren, his children, and he wants me at a distance. And I'm a criminal mind. Okay. I mean, let's face it. And a very, but yes, a very charming, charismatic fellow.
I can see that. I could definitely see that. Before I let you go, I have to get predictions. What? Who are you going with tonight?
Well, you know, I'm rooting for all athletes every time I see an event, but I think Mayweather, you know, certainly it seems to me with the weight difference too, you know, the other fellow coming up in weight, it seems like I will have to go with Mayweather.
And for you, Leah?
I think it's probably going to go the distance. I think the first 5 or 6 rounds are going to be pretty exciting. I think Guerrero's going to come out aggressive, but it's going to be tough. After the 6th round, I think he's probably going to change up and things will quiet down. If not, I'm predicting a Mayweather knockout.
All right, well, we'll see how it goes. You can check out Ray Donovan. It premieres Sunday, June 30th at 10 p.m. Let's send it back into you, Brian.
All right, Heidi, thank you very much. Those guys spending some time with Canelo and Kid Chocolate in the gym in Hollywood. Well done. Coming up 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, Showtime pay-per-view with Floyd Mayweather versus Robert Guerrero for the welterweight championship of the world. And then Daniel Ponce de Leon versus Abner Maris, and that for the WBC title at featherweight, 126 pounds. Plus, 2 more fights. That's coming up in just a little bit here in Las Vegas. Right now, you have more live boxing coming your way, live here from the MGM Grand. Let's go back to Barry and Steve.
All right, Brian, thanks very much. We're ready now for a 6-round super middleweight fight. Bonus coverage, Luis Arius and Daniel Livingston. Let's take a look at the numbers, Steve.
Well, Barry, Arius' height advantage, interestingly, doesn't translate into a reach advantage, but he's kind of a walk-in fighter, so he doesn't rely on reach at all.
2 guys with a long amateur career, both very successful in the amateur ranks, trying to make a mark here as professionals. With that, we take it to the center of the ring once more. The ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr. Jimmy?
Well, fans, at this time, Mayweather Promotions, Golden Boy Promotions, and Showtime present Super Middleweights in action. We are sponsored by Corona Extra, La Cerveza Más Fina, O'Reilly Auto Parts, better prices every day, AT&T, Piensa Sin Límites, Valvoline, 140 years under the hood, and Star Trek Into Darkness. In theaters May 17th, brought to you by Paramount Pictures and Skydance Productions. Well, fans, introducing to you our judges scoring the bout from ringside, all from Las Vegas, Nevada. Bob Bennett, Lisa Jumpa, and Al Lefkowitz. Introducing our referee in charge of the action, Kenny Bayless. All right, fans, here we go. Super middleweights in the ring, scheduled 6 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my right, he is fighting out of the red corner. Wearing black trunks with red trim, he joins us from Palmdale, California. He weighed in at 164 pounds. His record stands at 8 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw, with 4 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing Daniel Livingston.
Hello, David. Come on, Livingston. This is it. Let's go.
His opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing gold trunks with blue trim, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada by way of Cuba. He's weighed 165 pounds. He is undefeated in his young campaign with a record of 4 wins, no losses. 3 of his wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the undefeated Luis Arius. And our referee in charge once again, now to give instructions, is Kenny Bayless.
Okay, fellas, trunks are okay on both sides. Any punches that land in this area will be considered low blood. Now, gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you to keep this fight clean at all times. I want you to protect yourself at all times. And what I say, you must obey. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up.
Let's do it, baby. General, let's go.
And so with that, we are set to go. Bonus coverage here. And you get a good look right here at Luis Arius. Arius undefeated in his 4 fights. He's been very impressive.
Hold on.
Daniel Livingston, on the other hand, was cruising along with an 8-0 record and then has lost his last 2 fights.
This is a very interesting matchup, Barry, because Arius has had only 4 pro fights. I mean, Daniel Livingston was a top amateur and considered a prospect himself, a top prospect, until a very short time ago, and he's winless in his last 2. But this is a big step up for Arius at this point, and we'll see what he does with this opportunity. But Arius just missed making the 2012 U.S. Olympic team.
Yeah, big talent, actually. Goes by the nickname of Cuba, and that's because his father came from Cuba when he was a teenager.
Okay, let him up.
Wound up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, not really a hotbed of boxing.
Stop. Fellas, watch your heads now. Watch your heads.
Better World Peace tweeting in, and he's got a little time to watch boxing now. His season is done. He likes Mayweather. He thinks he'll rally late to win a decision.
He's been in a lot of the fights we've done recently. Obviously a huge boxing fan.
Big fan, yeah.
Well, Arius fighting as advertised in his fights up until this point. I describe him as a walk-in slugger because he's a rangy kid, but he wants to get inside and he loves banging the body. And Livingston says, I'm a thinking fighter, so Livingston wants to jab, neutralize that aggressiveness.
That was caught on the gloves. Another tweet from a big Mayweather fan. Remember, he made the ring walk with him last time, Justin Bieber. Floyd all day, says Justin Bieber.
Work out. Come on, work out. Stop.
Arius has Livingston right where he wants him, in close. Livingston tries to show him a little movement, but he's getting caught on the outside as Arius walks in.
Wild right hand, and Arius counters him with a right uppercut. In very close quarters, it was a good shot. That is not a knockdown.
No. Don't push.
Well, I thought Arius pushed Livingston to the ropes, but then he landed a shot, and that's what made Livingston go down.
All right, Livingston a little short, and that was a very good right hand by Arius. And it shook Livingston.
Pretty clear, Barry, that who has the heavier hands.
Yeah.
Arius, a lot stronger puncher.
Work out. Stop.
And one thing that amazes me, well, there's a big left hand to the body right there.
And that clearly got Livingston's attention. Livingston trying to fight off the ropes now and gets it with a combination. Pretty good job by Livingston against the ropes, but a right hand by Arius moves him right back into the ropes.
Keep him up.
Livingston doing okay off the ropes, but he may win the battle, lose the war.
Yeah. Pretty exciting first round.
Down. Listen. Hey.
Action from round 1. You see that Arius being aggressive, pushing Livingston. But look at this right hand. Hard to say if it caught Livingston on the chin or not. Now look, after he pushes him to the ropes, let's see where that right hand lands, if it lands at all. Went through the gloves. I don't think it landed. So that was a good call by Bayless. Livingston going down more from the push. And later in the round, that's actually not illegal because I think Livingston threw his face right into that forearm of Arius.
Actually, I thought Livingston did a pretty good job, but Arius got him up against the ropes.
Yeah, the first round was fought very much on Arius's terms, and he got the fight on his terms really inside of the first minute. All those jabs being caught on the gloves.
Yeah. And Arius talks about himself as a straight-ahead kind of fighter, and he may do that as we take a look at the power shots from the last round. And Arius clearly with an edge of 11 power shots over Livingston.
Yeah, when you see that percentage over 40% for power shots, that's the fighter who won the round 9 times out of 10.
Just to finish that thought, but Arius doesn't just haphazardly rush in, and I like that. about him. Still a young fighter and still learning, but comes in behind the jab, comes in kind of bobbing and weaving. I like the way he gets there.
Yeah, he keeps his gloves up. He's not slipping a lot of punches. What you want to see, though, does he come in behind the jab?
Don't push, stop. Watch the push,
A few more tweets. This one from our old friend Mario Lopez, being Cinco de Mayo, and he says, I'm Mexican, I have to go with the upset. He's going with Guerrero by a split decision. And Mario knows his boxing.
That's it. Split decision, maybe a little controversy. Better round for Livingston here because he sort of neutralized Arius a little bit. And Arius not as busy as he was in the first round.
Arius really trying to work the body, and those are hard shots.
Arius almost went to one knee there. He was looking for so much leverage for his body shot. And one point about a fight like this for Arius, this is, the boxing card of the year, and there's such great exposure. All the media is here, and they see Arius.
Big right hand right there by Arius.
And the left hook from Livingston, both landed there.
Arius really loading up now. Another right hand over the top.
Stop. Hold it. Step back.
Now he goes back downstairs, then comes upstairs. Good four-punch combination from Arius.
Step back.
Arius beginning to impose his will on Livingston for sure.
His body shots really taking a toll. Two left hands, left to the body, left to the head. Now he comes to the right to the body.
Heads, watch your heads.
And those are hard punches.
Livingston's going to stay in this fight, Barry. He's going to have to land something to gain some respect, because right now Arius is just walking through him and he's targeting that body again and again. Good work.
Started out as a pretty close round, but it turned quickly.
Come on. Quick.
Action from round two. Arius beginning with the jab, and then, if you noticed, his eyes were looking at the stomach of Livingston when he threw that right hand. That's kind of a veteran move there, coming from a young fighter. Watch his eyes. He's downstairs. The punch is coming to the body. No, it isn't. And that landed flush. Beautiful move by Arius. That's a fighter with a big amateur background. The left is just a rangefinder there. And you see that Livingston dropped his left hand, I think, as he thought the punch was going to the body.
Very good second half of that round.
Don't look over there. Listen, you understand that?
Get your hands out. Don't push it. Snap.
And Barry, at this point, the way Arius is pounding the body, you look at Livingston, 4 KOs in 11 fights. Does he have it to land something big and get back into the fight? Because he's down 2 rounds to zip.
Yeah, and Arius not taking a backward step now, and he's all in his range.
And Arius is landing this kind of shots to the body that Badu Jack stopped his guy, Benga, with.
Right. Another tweet from Ray Rice. Baltimore Ravens by the 8th round. Mayweather will have worn him out. Will capitalize with a knockout. So says Ray Rice.
I often say, Barry, with fights like Mayweather-Guerrero, huge mega fights, the world stops. And everybody is watching, as you can tell by the diversity of the tweets. Big trade there.
Yeah, it was. But Arius still getting the better of it. And he's making Livingston fight his fight. Good combination by Livingston. I think you said it earlier, though. Arius just has more pop in his punches.
And very often, a guy who's committed to the body in a short fight, a 6-round fight like this, doesn't have the time to benefit from the body attack, but he's committed to it.
And you can see, to that point, 53 power shots to 24 for Arius.
Yeah, 53 shots in 2 2/3 rounds is quite a bit.
That was a good flush right hand by Livingston. This is where Livingston does not want to be. Although he did get there with an uppercut. He's actually fought pretty well against the ropes.
But he really commits to his punches. When Arius throws a right hand, he throws a right hand. There's no touching.
Yeah.
He's looking to drive his right hand right through his opponent. He's keeping a very, very fast pace, and I think that's wearing Livingston down. When Livingston lands a shot,
Watch your hands.
there's no real effect.
There's a little bit of blood on Livingston. Hard to tell exactly where it's coming from. Another good right hand by Arius. And there's a little headbutt up under the chin.
Son, how's your conditioning? How's your condition? South, please, fast. Okay, listen. Conditioning is good.
Listen, man, I need that body work. You give me your headshot. I need the body work. You understand what I'm saying? The body work is there for you, baby.
Action from round 3. This time it's Arius who's against the ropes, and it bent over at the waist a little bit, and a good selection of punches there. Nice right uppercut right on the chin coming from Daniel Livingston. Rest of the round, though, same thing. Look at the aggressiveness, the intent. You can feel it coming from Arius. And then he moves Livingston to the ropes and the body shots. And then watch the heads here. Right there. Using that bald head as a third glove, Daniel Livingston.
That was right at the end of the round.
You mentioned the blood. Maybe that's where it was from.
It is from his nose.
Hold it.
Sounds like a dramatic novel about boxing, The Third Fist.
I like it.
Well, it's tough for Livingston at this point, Barry. What's he supposed to do? He's landed some shots. He's trying.
Yeah, he's getting outgunned, and he's fighting Arius' fight.
Step back clean, fellas. There we go.
2001 was a long time ago, but Daniel Livingston was the under-19 national champion. And this kid was a good fighter who had 225 amateur fights.
Step back. Here we go.
Yeah, as we said, he was just kind of cruising along. Won his first 8 fights, then lost the decision, and then got stopped.
Stop. Step back.
I'm watching Arius. He doesn't look like a guy who's had a pro who's had only 4 professional
Sure
fights.
doesn't.
Work out. Don't push.
What an uppercut there, and another one.
Watch your heads.
That punch from Livingston was right on the break.
And now, Arius just having his way, shoving Livingston back into the ropes right above us. Still a ways to go here in round 4 of the 6-round fight.
Stop. Come on, let's work out in the clinches, fellas.
Good body shot. And then an upstairs shot to the head.
Looking at Livingston's face, it looks like it's round 9, not round 4.
Well, Livingston, nothing of not gained. Not sure that's always a compliment.
That was an excellent jab there by Livingston, but one jab isn't going to turn this fight around. In Luis Arius, you see a couple of things he does. Total body punches landed Arius with a huge advantage. Which brings me to my point. Arius, body punching and infighting. 2 things that the amateur game doesn't stress. So he's the type of guy that's going to be a better pro than he was as an amateur, and he was a top amateur.
Yeah, I don't see much that I can criticize in what he's doing here tonight. And he's fighting a live opponent.
Work out.
What's valuable for Arius, he's never been past 4. Looks like he's going to go past 4 for the first time.
Don't hold. Stop.
Bring it to the middle. Get out that corner.
Don't hold him.
Right over the top.
Right hand by Livingston at the bell.
Now listen, I need your hands up after you get through punching. You understand what I'm saying? Roll. I need you to keep rolling inside and keep bringing that left hook first right to the body, because he's right there for it, man. Keep digging like you
Action
do.
from round 4. They're on the inside. Livingston's trying to hold. Left hook followed by a right uppercut. Beautiful combination. Clearly Livingston pinned against the rope, squared up. More surface for Arius to punch at, and Arius landed a high percentage of his shots there. Oh, look at how he turns his body and gets leverage on that right uppercut. That's a beautiful shot. Most impressive punch I've seen from Arius.
We come to round 5. This fight scheduled for 6 rounds. Bonus coverage here. Still, of course, lots more to come. May Day itself begins just about an hour and 12 minutes from now.
And just like Badu Jack, Luis Arias trained by Eddie Mustafa Muhammad. And Eddie's got some good young fighters to work with.
He does.
Look out. Step back. There we go.
It was an interesting story Barry and I heard yesterday about how Arius joined the money team. He joined because he sparred with Mayweather. And Mayweather was suitably impressed and said, okay, put your name on this contract.
Yeah, it was when he was still an amateur, and he just kind of showed up and asked for an audition.
Bring the right over the top.
Come on. Up, bring him up.
Arius is very exciting fighting the way he does. The one criticism I have maybe soften some of the punches. Now, in a 6-round fight, he can bring it all 6 rounds. It's not going to be a problem. But as he gets longer in fights, he might get a little fatigued throwing home run shots every time like you just saw with that left hook.
And he has a tendency to lean in every now and then, too. And he's going to tell that he was in a fight when he looks in the mirror tomorrow morning.
Stop.
Bring you update on another tweet. Damian Lillard, what a great player, what a great surprise, NBA Rookie of the Year. And he too thinks that Floyd will get it on him.
Is there an NBA player that isn't a boxing fan? They love it.
It's true. It's true. And I think they love it because none of them can do it.
Well, you know who did fight a few fights? Kendall Gill fought a few pro fights.
That's right.
I saw him live once, and he was a better guard than he was a boxer.
That could be said about almost every athlete who tries the sport of boxing.
That's right. Football players included.
Yep.
No.
Now it's getting a little sloppy in there, but Livingston perhaps worn down a little bit, and Arius going longer than he's ever gone before. But he's still targeting that body. Good for him. Sticking to the game plan.
There you go.
Work out.
Right now, Arius just laying in on him.
Stop.
Double left hand by Arius.
Yeah, Arius, big shots.
Watch the shoulder.
Livingston has been down in 2 different fights.
Stop.
There's blood on my notes, Barry. Are you bleeding?
I hate that. Nope.
All right.
And my shirt is unscathed also.
Watch that glove.
Somebody's bleeding in there. It's not you and it's not me.
Don't wait, Gil. Don't wait. Shoot low next time.
Work out.
Down and up.
I'll give Livingston credit. He's still trying. He just doesn't seem to have the guns to compete.
We're going to get a cut man over here for your notes now.
Thank you.
Walking in without your jab. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Stop walking in without the jab. I need double and triple jabs, man. Stop walking in. He's waiting for you. Stop walking in. Nice and relaxed. Deep breath. There you go. You okay?
I'm great.
Get him that water. Come on. Suck it up, man. Back on the jab.
Listen. Let your hands go. You gotta let your hands go. You only have 2 rounds left.
You're looking for one punch, yeah.
Hey. If you want to outbox this boy and do the best you can, we're not gonna win this fight. You understand? This is his hometown. You have to let your hands go. That's it.
Last and final round. Touch gloves, man.
Oh, last round. Shit. Listen.
That's
this round, man, they're gonna take
Yeah, maybe a good trainer perhaps, but not good in math because there's only 1 round left.
Unless there's something that we don't know.
Yes.
Touch up. Keep it clean, fellas. Keep it clean. See some work.
Every punch that Arius throws is thrown with serious intent.
And Eddie Mustafa calling for jabs before the big shots come. He got caught there. But Eddie's right, because in the first couple of rounds, Arius did lead with the jab consistently, and it helped him get inside.
No. Don't push there. Work out. Stop. There we go.
I think both are a little bit tired here.
You're right, and the fight was fought at a good pace. And I give Livingston credit for that. He didn't do a lot of holding. Tried to land some big shots of his own. Didn't make it down.
Combination from Arius. Arius just had things pretty much his own way right from the get-go here.
Barry, unless Livingston turns this around in dramatic fashion in the last 2 minutes of this fight reminds me of how cruel a sport boxing can be, because it was less than a year ago that he was an undefeated prospect going somewhere. Now he's going to probably lose 3 in a row. And where he's going, you don't want to go.
No, and the road back gets a little windier.
But Arius, very impressive. I like him, and I think he's a good TV fighter, an exciting, fan-friendly fighter.
Don't hold him. Watch your heads. Stop. Watch your heads, fellas. Watch your heads.
He's fighting also in a very attractive division in boxing right now.
Hold it.
And Mayweather's keeping Arius busy. This is his 5th fight in 6 months.
Yeah. Fought twice in 2 weeks in February. Had a quick knockout on February 2nd. Floyd said to him, "You want to go again on February 23rd?" He said, "No problem."
Stop.
Busy is good for prospects. And Arius pushing Livingston back still, but not as effective this round. You know, going 6 for a fighter who's never done it, it's a small but significant step in a fighter's development.
No.
So the final 27 seconds of this fight, Robinson did dig a good body shot there and came with the left hand.
Work out, fellas. Work out.
Livingston's game. To take the body punches he's taken in this fight, to actually be bringing it at this point, pretty impressive. But unless we watched the wrong fight, Barry, too little, too late.
Yeah, I think so. And that's it. It is in the books.
Fellas.
Livingston, I think, relieved that he's not going to be taking any more shots to the body.
Yeah, really. I mean, he took him right from the beginning.
Very happy to hear the final bell.
I'm good, baby. No problems. Fight down hard for me. Look straight ahead. Close your eyes real tight. Go, baby.
So it's in the hands of the judges. I don't think there's a great mystery as we take a look at our show stats, and they will tell you, I'm sure, what the judges saw.
Well, when a fighter throws more shots, lands more shots, and lands a lot more power shots, you don't need the judges to tell you who won the fight.
That's true.
Great fight.
It was a good fight for him, I think, because it did tell him, hey, I got 6 rounds in me, not a problem. Not going to knock out everybody.
And a very impressive win because of the quality of the opposition. I mean, I'm not saying Daniel Livingston is a future world champion, but for a 5th fight for Arius, Livingston was a severe test, the type of test most prospects at this point are not going to take.
Absolutely. In fact, I mean, all 5 of his opponents have had, reasonable records. I'm not sure about what the caliber of opposition that they had those records against, but you got to give it up for him. I mean, he's not fighting tomato cans.
Milwaukee, I love you. We're starting. Vegas, I love you.
And of course, this is only the opening act of what will be a tremendous night of boxing here. They're calling it May Day. The main event features, of course, Floyd Mayweather and Robert Guerrero. Another championship fight on hand. It's going to be a great night of boxing here in Las Vegas. We are just getting started. Let's take you right now back up to the center of the ring. Jimmy Lennon Jr., and we'll make all this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of action, we have a majority decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Lisa Jampa, sees the bout 57-57, even a draw. Overruled by Bob Bennett, who sees it 58-56. And Al Lefkowitz scoring the bout 58-55 in favor of the winner, Luis Arias.
Well, I'm sure Luis was every bit as surprised as we were when they said a majority decision.
I had the shutout, for what it's worth.
I gave Livingston the last round, but virtually a shutout. Certainly did not see it as a draw. But I'd have to say the right man won, and Arius has his hand held in victory for the 5th time in as many fights. And we're going to see him again, too, in the Mayweather camp. And Mayweather doesn't match his guys with easy opponents. I think this is a tough guy for him, and he got by him, and hey, that's the bottom line.
And you see the score is the reason there's an extra point there from Bob Bennett. Al Lefkowitz scored round 2, 10-8 for Arius. That gives you an idea of what kind of punishment he was dishing in the fight.
Yeah, really interesting. Judge Giampa gave the 1st, the 4th, and the 6th round all to Livingston. So I guess sometimes it just depends on what side of the ring you watch a fight from and whose eyes you watch it with, you know. But the bottom line is there's the man that won, and you will likely see him again, Luis Arias, now 5-0, 3 knockouts along the way, and his career just kind of getting started. But that's what the early part of this evening is all about. As you said, there's a lot of eyes on him because the national media, the international media for that matter, is on hand for the big fight coming up later. Floyd Mayweather and Robert the Ghost Guerrero. And that's still just over an hour, the beginning of all of that, just over an hour away. But we got a lot to talk about and to help us talk about it. And he is the man who can talk about it. We'll take you upstairs once again to Brian Kenny. Brian?
Barry, thank you so much. You see the arena filling up, and the desk has filled up suddenly. My good friends have joined us now. Mauro Ranallo, Al Bernstein, and welterweight titleist Paulie Malignaggi. Let's talk main event. We're getting close. We're starting to feel it. Floyd Mayweather looking to stay unbeaten, stay on top in the boxing world. He signed on to do as many as 6 fights, Al, so he's in this for the long haul. First, he's got to win tonight against Robert Guerrero. Give me the thing that's the biggest point in your mind going up to this fight.
I think it's the key questions that people are asking about. You know, 36 years old, a year layoff. Has he got the ability at this age to come back after that long layoff? He says, I've trained 9 weeks for this fight. It's longer than most people train. He thinks he's ready to go.
You know, another thing is you got Robert Guerrero, who looks like a rough guy and a full-size welterweight, too, to us, Paulie. And are we just misjudging him with his ability to rough up Andre Berto and knowing that that's not Floyd Mayweather? What type of shot do we really give him?
Well, it's not Floyd Mayweather, but you got to understand he was still roughing up a natural welterweight. Andre Berto's been at welterweight his whole career. As a matter of fact, even the welterweight before him, Selçuk Aydin, is a very rough customer. You know, he may not be the most talented guy, but he's a very rough physical welterweight. And Guerrero even roughed him up. So to say Guerrero hasn't filled up as a welterweight is ludicrous. You know, at this point, he's definitely filled in as a welterweight, and he's definitely able to fight a physical fight against a welterweight. Now, having said that, can he do it against Floyd Mayweather? Because between the skill Floyd Mayweather has and the underrated physical strength Floyd Mayweather brings to the table, you know, it is a different proposition. But he's definitely a natural welterweight now at this point, is Guerrero.
We're excited about the fight itself, but also it's an entire event here in Las Vegas, Marwin. Floyd Mayweather is here. He's always said, I'm the cash cow, I'm the king of boxing, and there was some dispute for a little while there, but now, no, he's the guy, he's the drawing crowd. This place is going to be packed, and the world will be watching.
Yeah, it definitely will, and he even says that, you know, his home away from home, his home court here at MGM Grand Garden Arena. MGM stands for Mayweather Gets Money, and he is guaranteed to get a base of $32 $2 million tonight just for stepping into the ring, which equals the purse against Miguel Cotto last year. And speaking of the Cotto fight, it was the abuse and the punishment that he took against the future Hall of Famer from Puerto Rico that proved to be a catalyst for Floyd to bring back Floyd Sr. for the first time in 13 years. And Floyd Sr. said that his main goal in training camp was getting Junior to once again focus on the staple of a success, defense. You know, they always say the less you get hit, the longer career you're going to have, and Floyd Mayweather wants to stick around for at least another 30 months.
Yeah, I look at Floyd when he was a younger man. His plan really, Al, was, but I'll use the boxing parlance, where he would stink it out and walk away with his W. He doesn't owe us blood. I always say, hey, you get your win, you can walk away. But the last fight that we saw, he gets a little more interesting now as he gets older. Match him up for us.
Yeah, you know, I always said I'd rather announce the 36-year-old Floyd Mayweather than the 30-year-old Floyd Mayweather. I think the fights are going to be just a little bit more competitive and interesting. Now, Floyd says, you know, when fighters watch me outside the ring, it looks a little different than when they actually get in there and try and unlock the code of beating me. Well, to unlock that code, though, first of all, you have to have a plan. 30-year-old Robert Guerrero has won world titles in 4 weight divisions, and he believes his body of work earned him this big fight against Floyd Mayweather. And more importantly, he believes it has prepared him to win this fight. To do so, the first key is to push Mayweather to the ropes, where he can mug him, as he did Andre Berto in their fight. But once there, he can't get too close and not have room to throw his punches, as Oscar De La Hoya and others have done when they faced Mayweather. And it's important that, unlike Victor Ortiz, he used the advantage of being a lefty when he puts Mayweather on those ropes. When Mayweather uses his now familiar shoulder roll against a right-hander, it nullifies the right hand and makes the left hook the only option, but it is a harder one to deliver. But a lefty like Guerrero can attack Mayweather a little easier on the ropes with the left hand, and Robert uses it well in a variety of ways. Mayweather will have to account for this in his game plan, or it might be Guerrero's ticket to a big upset. As usual, Floyd Mayweather comes into his fight with Robert Guerrero after almost a year layoff. He defies logic by looking sharp every time he comes back after those long layoffs. Will he still be sharp at age 36? The older Floyd has backed himself against the ropes rather than using the whole ring in recent fights, and for this fight, he needs to keep it in the center of the ring. When there, it's easier for him to throw combinations, his stock in trade. Against the lefty Guerrero, he needs to land the right hand, which he uses in a variety of ways, as a looping punch, as a lead, and following a jab. Here he shows yet another way to land that right hand. First, he feints with the left hand, as if he were going to throw a jab. Then, he unloads the right hand. And this signature punch is where the power of Floyd Mayweather lies.
And now I have to say this, it's tactics, it's skill, it's everything else, but there's also demeanor and a fighting spirit. Guerrero, maybe if he gets that small window, and the windows are small, he looks like a guy who will let his hands go to do some harm on the ropes.
Yeah, and there's that other wild card to throw in. Let's be honest, Robert Guerrero has been known to bend the Marcus of Queensberry rules just a bit when he gets a fighter on the ropes. And Robert Byrd, the referee, could be a central character in this.
Floyd Sr.'s made a big point about that. Yep. Like, hey, pay attention to what this guy is doing out there, and that's what a good trainer does. Let's talk a little more boxing. Let's go poolside to Heidi Endrol.
Thank you very much, Brian. Well, joined now by Adrian Broner, checking out the pool scene out here in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, it's a nice scene. It's a hell of a scene.
Yeah, now I know you have been very busy here this weekend, a big press conference, but before we get to talking about your fight on June 22nd, let's talk a little Mayweather-Guerrero. What are your thoughts on this one?
It's going to be a great fight. I know Guerrero's going to come to fight, but at the end of the day, I'm pulling for my big brother, Money May, all day.
Now, you had to go up 2 weight classes. How do you think your body will react in the ring to Paulie going up in weight?
I'll be cool. I spar with middleweight, so it shouldn't be a difference. I handle it just fine.
Well, that's going to be June 22nd at Barclays Center. I know that you had a big press conference today, and there's been no shortage of talk as we lead up to this fight. But are there any final words? Paulie is standing by on our set right now. Anything else you want to say to him?
I know one thing, man. After all the talking and all of the tricks and everything. I hope Polly in shape, because I'm in shapes, and that's with an S.
All right, that is with an S, Paulie. All right, we'll send it back to you guys on the set.
Okay, all right. That was peaceable, right?
He's got to stay off the buffet table. Come on, man. He weighs more than me right now. You kidding me? He's in shape. He's in shape to fight Peter Quillen, maybe. He's not in shape to fight me. Look, see how much he's weighing?
He was acting nice, Paulie. Let me say he was acting nice.
Well, there was the T-shirt.
He's getting in shape at the buffet table.
Yeah. He had the T-shirt. Right, Al. You're right. He comes in. That's inflaming. Yeah, it's June 22nd in Brooklyn. He presents a very difficult puzzle. How do you deal with that, Paulie?
I got a few plans for him, and honestly, there's a few different plans we have in place. But I think the first thing you have to think about with Adrian Broner is the fact that he hasn't been in with a guy that actually has the ability to hit him. He does have a lot of natural talent. So, in having that natural talent, he's been able to win a lot of the natural talent, mainly because of the garbage opposition he's fought. And I'm being a fighter here, not an analyst, but yeah, his opposition has been garbage. So when he's fighting me, he's going to be fighting a guy who's able to set traps for him, who's able to put him in places where he might not want to be, who's able to counterpunch him, and who's fast enough to lead against him as well. So I'm curious to see myself how he deals with somebody who can actually fight, who actually has talent.
Are you saying you have a certain filter when you come out here and you put on the suit with us as a boxing analyst that you might not have then?
Hey, if I could interject for just 1 second, Paulie, I want to know who came up with the shirt idea first, him or your friend? Because your friend has quite the shirt as well.
Yeah. My friend had the Dr. Evil and Mini-Me, and he substituted Dr. Evil's face with Floyd Mayweather and the Mini-Me with Adrian Broner, and Mini-Me's on Dr. Evil's lap. I think we had the better shirt, though. I think we had the better shirt. Not to mention his name's Adrian. He's already got the girl name. I don't have to feminize my name,
Nice. You see, I blame you. I blame you for bringing him there.
I'll put it like this, guys. In Rocky, there was a Paulie in the movie Rocky, and there was Adrian in the movie Rocky. Which one was the girl? Enough said.
All right.
Enough said.
June 22nd. They will actually fight. This is a beautiful thing about boxing. It's like you're not going to talk about, we're going to do this, do that, and then they might fight. No, you will fight.
Yeah,
you will fight for money on TV, June 22nd in Brooklyn, and we'll see it live on Showtime. Good luck. You guys are both very good boxers. It'll be interesting to see what we have coming up in June. It's just getting started. All right. What we're looking at tonight is also, besides the main event, we also have a tremendous co-feature. Abner Mares comes up now, and he is all action. He brings it. He lets go with his hands all the time. But he's gone from, Paulie, 118 to 122, 126. Now he fights a guy that he knows in Daniel Ponce de Leon. Here's a real rough, hard guy, too. Match those two up.
Well, speaking of bending the rules, like I was saying about Robert Guerrero, Abner Mares has been one guy who's been known to bend the Marcus of Queensberry rules himself, but he engages a lot in those physical kind of fights and then starts to bend the rules. My thinking for this fight is, though, he's fighting a featherweight, he's moving up another weight class, and he's fighting a pretty physically strong featherweight. Daniel Ponce de Leon is very physically strong, as well as being a good puncher. So he's going to have to attack at his own risk if he's going to attack in that way. He may have to adjust some way. You have to think Abner Mares has the ability to box. He just hasn't done it in so long. This guy was an Olympian at one time, so to be an Olympian, you need that boxing ability. The thing is, he hasn't done it in so long. Has he even worked on those kind of skills? Has he prepared differently for the fight? And that, we'll get those questions answered once they step in the ring.
Yeah, when they clash in the middle of the ring, they're going to let their hands go. And also, it was Ponce de Leon who fought Adrian Broner not too long ago. It was a very competitive fight. What do you think happens, Mauro?
Well, a lot of people thought he may have won that fight, and he was also an Olympian. So Daniel Ponce de Leon, despite his potent power, 35 of his 44 knockouts come inside the distance. He's been at featherweight now, winning the title in a bit of an upset against compatriot Johnny Gonzalez, and we have to say that I think Ponce de Leon can't just be the one-trick pony. He has to be able to avoid the lateral movement and the angles of an Abner Mares, because if Mares tries to box with Ponce de Leon, that's what's going to make this very interesting. Having said that, it's two Mexican fighters going mano a mano on Cinco de Mayo. I predict a lot of fistic fury tonight.
It's interesting, too, because between 118 and 126 pounds, these guys can float back and forth. Match them up for us, Al. Break it down.
Yeah, these two fighters know each other very well. They have the same promoter, the same manager. They've trained from time to time at the same gym. So it may come down to which man could do something strategic to surprise the other man.
Abner Mares continues to write his rags to riches story with a move up to the 126-pound weight class. Standing at the gate trying to bar his entrance is two-time world champion Daniel Ponce de Leon. Here's how Mares might get past him to win another world title. Since he's moving up in weight, Mares shouldn't take big risks early in the fight while he's feeling out Ponce de Leon's punching power. Mares is one of the best body punchers in the sport, but he needs to do it legally. And one of the options open to Mares in terms of power is the overhand right. A low left that stays low from a southpaw gives Mares a chance to land the overhand right as he did against Anselmo Moreno. This is a punch that he hopes to land against De Leon, and he thinks could get him another world title. Two-time world champion Daniel Ponce de Leon has moved up in weight himself and failed to win a world title. He'd like to make that Abner Mares' fate as well. Mares attacks head first, and referees call fighters for pushing down on that head. So Ponce de Leon can't do it. Instead, a step back and an uppercut could be the answer to stopping that attack. The Ponce de Leon left needs to be evident in this fight, and he needs to hurt Mares with it. Ponce de Leon has power in that left hand, and he delivers it very, very well. Just ask Johnny Gonzalez about that. It's an excellent punch that Ponce de Leon hopes will help him keep his world title.
Daniel Ponce de Leon defending his WBC featherweight title against Abner Mares. That's the co-feature just before Floyd Mayweather against Robert Guerrero in the main event. Another guy moving up in weight class is Leo Santa Cruz, 24 years old. Talk about a high work rate, a guy who will let his hands go. Leo Santa Cruz a little later on the Showtime pay-per-view. Right now, let's go to Jim Gray with Leo Santa Cruz.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. Leo, you are moving up in weight. Are you concerned about that and the power of movement?
Well, kind of, yeah, because he's a big puncher. He's a fighter that comes forward throwing and looking for the knockout. But we've been working in the gym how to take those cup shots and not to get hit by those. But we're really prepared and confident in my training.
After your fight a few months ago on CBS, you said, I have to work on my head movement if I'm going to advance and continue to be a great fighter that you want to be. Have you been working on it, and what improvement have you shown?
Yeah, with my brother in the corner, my dad brought him in so he could. My brother's a little bit more faster, he moves more, so he's making me move my head more, go back and do lighter work, lighter movement. And I think my dad said that it was coming out good, that I was working on the head movement a lot better, that we look better than before.
How are you handling this quick ascent? Because you were on CBS a few months ago, and now tonight you're fighting on a pay-per-view with Floyd Mayweather. What does it mean to you?
Oh, it means exciting. An honor to me to be on this card, but it is a great opportunity for me to show the world who I am, and I'm going to try my best to go out there and impress everybody, all the fans, and so they could get more fans and they could follow me.
How are you handling the crowd? Because I saw you up in the lobby trying to get in here. You must have taken about 1,000 pictures. You getting worn out with it all?
No, I like it. I like the fans coming here and taking a picture. It shows that they like me, and it does really good. It makes me excited and happy to know that and to see that. It makes me work hard in the gym, gives motivation to go out there and give it my all.
Best of luck. We'll talk to you after the fight.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Brian, back upstairs to you.
Jim, thank you so much. I'm glad he pointed that out, too, because, I don't know, to the mainstream fans, they might see Leo Santa Cruz, who's this? But he can barely walk through this MGM Grand. He's got so many fans. Young guy, Paulie, one of these guys, young, smiling, throwing. What are your thoughts of Santa Cruz?
Yeah, he's a very likable young man. He's got a good personality, comes from a good family, he's got a good story, so very easy guy to root for. But on top of that, you can be an easy guy to root for, but then be a pain to watch fight. This guy's not that at all. This guy's very exciting. This guy gets in there to throw down. He'll easily throw 100 punches around if you can stay in front. If you're in front of him, he'll bang it right out with you. So he's exciting. Plus he's a good guy. He's a good story. There's a lot to root for. There's a lot to watch for. He's young. He's up and coming as well. He's won a world title. He's moving up another weight class now. So a lot to look for in Santa Cruz. He's getting better every time out, and that's what I like to see.
24 years old, Al, and they're already thinking, hey, Ponce de Leon, Abner Mares, in the future, hey, we might have to fight our own guys here, but he'd be up for that. What do you think about that?
There are so many good fighters in the 122 to 126 pound range. We're going to see obviously Mares and Ponce de Leon at 126, and that's what makes this intriguing. They all keep chasing each other up these weight classes, and Santa Cruz, though he's a young man and just won his first title, there's no shortage of bravado in a way, because he's willing to go anywhere for these fights.
Yeah, well, your thoughts on? We've seen Santa Cruz a few times now, Mauro. A lot of excitement when he comes in.
I'd like to say he's show stats worst nightmare, throws over 100 punches around, and you're right, really coming out on CBS against Mayweather-Guerrero for the first time on network television, CBS, since 1997. There was a reason he was put in that position, like there's a reason he is being put on this pay-per-view. He knows how to entertain the fans, and against a guy like Alexander Munoz, 10 years older, a former super flyweight champion, known as El Explosivo, had 23 straight knockouts to kick off his career, 28 knockout wins and 36 victories. Maybe he's considered a showcase for Munoz, but I don't think Munoz is going to allow the moment to swallow him up. And I think Leo Santa Cruz is going to be in for a bit of a test tonight.
It's a very deep card. Again, Leo Santa Cruz is on that card before you get to Ponce de Leon and Abner Maris, and before, of course, you even get near Floyd Mayweather and Robert Guerrero. Jayleon Love is also on the card. We saw him in Detroit recently. I know you guys were not so ecstatic about his performance. Al, what about Jayleon Love, 15-0? What are your thoughts going into this fight tonight against Gabriel Rosado?
Well, he's a young middleweight who's on the precipice of, he hopes, doing great things. Promoted and managed by the Mayweather Group. His performance against Derek Finley was good, but slightly uneven. And tonight he's facing a better version of Derek Finley. He is facing a fighter in Gabe Rosado who is a better pressure fighter and who saw Finley on very short notice be able to pressure him well. So this is going to be quite a test for Love tonight.
Jayleon Love again, 15-0 from Las Vegas with the money team. It's funny what the guys were saying earlier that, boy, Mayweather, he puts his guys in tough. You know, that's not, what I do and what you do, two separate things, fellas. Jayleon Love, by the way, is with Jim Gray right now. Jim, take it away.
All right, Brian, thank you very much. You just said something very interesting to me. Repeat it to the audience about this opportunity.
I said I dreamed of this day here, being interviewed and fighting on pay-per-view. This is the moment I've been waiting on since I laced up the gloves.
And how did the dream turn out when you see it in your mind's eye?
I was definitely victorious, and at the end of the day, man, it's a blessing from God, and with him putting him first, anything is possible.
Do you feel as though you're ready for this type of a fight? And Rosado's a guy with an awful lot of heart. How do you break his will, and are you ready for that?
Sometimes it's hard to break a guy's will like Rosado. He's very tough. He has skill. He's determined. He's hungry. He's trying to get back on the platform where he wants to be. So at the end of the day, man, I'm going to do what I do best, go out there and fight like I know how, and, get the fans what they want to see.
And I like your honesty, because when we were talking, you said, I'm a little nervous. Tell us about the butterflies.
It's not being scared or anything like that. It's just, you want to perform. You want to give the show that people want to see it. Obviously, this is pay-per-view. You know what I mean? I would love to be in this stage again and, become a pay-per-view star and all those things. But, you got to be able to perform well. So, I believe in myself and my ability. I'm confident in myself. So, at the end of the day, I know I'm going to go out there and do what I got to do.
How difficult has it been for you to prepare for this fight based on the tragedy that happened with your brother?
I just use it as motivation. I try not to think about it, but obviously that's something that's hard to put behind you. I'm gonna just use it as my drive and keep it moving.
Anything you need to establish early in this fight to let him know that you're of the same will that he has shown in the past?
Oh, most definitely. I need to go out there and show him who Jayleon Love is. You hit me, I'm gonna hit you right back. So that's what it is.
Don't hit me. Go hit him. Thanks, Jayleon. We'll talk to you afterwards.
All right, now.
All right, Brian, upstairs to you.
Jayleon Love right there. So much to react to there. His brother was murdered only a short time ago, only a few months ago. And it's nice to see him come out and say, I've dreamed of this, being interviewed for my pay-per-view bout. That's great. He's going to get his chance later on Showtime pay-per-view. Right now, Barry Tompkins, Steve Farhood have had a chance to see a lot of these fighters now on the undercard of the pay-per-view, working their way up through Showbox. Let's go to Barry Tompkins and Steve Farhood right now. Guys.
All right, thanks very much, Brian. Well, I think Jayleon Love is a guy who would be the first to agree with Paulie and saying, maybe that wasn't my best effort in Detroit. Maybe I really do have something to prove here tonight.
I love this fight. This is so many prospects we see on Showtime. Most of them don't pan out, in fact. Some become world champions. But for every prospect who does make it, Barry, you see that one fight that launches him. And Jayleon Love's making a big step up in class against a fighter, Gabe Rosado, who last time out was against Gennady Golovkin, who's a fighter everybody's scared of, who's a middleweight titleist, a world titleist. So this is a big step up, and no risk, no reward for prospects.
Yeah.
There's a lot to gain here.
And when we talked to Rosado, he didn't have the state of mind of a B fighter, a guy who was just coming here to be an opponent. But oftentimes you see a guy like Jayleon Love not fight so well against a lesser fighter, but really pick his game up when he fights a guy like Rosado.
Yes, exactly right, because Jayleon Love is a boxer, and Rosado is a pressure fighter. So style-wise, this is a perfect matchup. We'll see who imposes his will.
All right, let's talk about some of the other fights that the guys upstairs talked about. Leo Santa Cruz, a guy that we really have been impressed with. What I really like about him, he does throw a ton of punches. He wears people out. If there was any concern that I might have about him, though, maybe it's that he's just fought too often. It's great when you're a young fighter, but he's fighting some pretty good guys, and he's fighting very often.
Well, that's one of the ways boxing's changed, because we know in the old days fighters fought a lot. And today, some of the biggest stars only fight once or twice a year. So I don't have a big problem with him. He's full of energy. If you see him slow down in fights, like we maybe did a little bit with Guevara on CBS, then you say, okay, time to take a rest. But the fact that this guy fights a lot, I love.
And certainly Mayweather and Guerrero are going to be an outstanding fight. I mean, it's the fight's been talked about for months now. But really, the fight that may be the fight of the night, just in terms of pure excitement, might be the one the guys talked about a little bit earlier, and that is Ponce de Leon as he gets it on with Abner Mares. That's a great fight.
It's a great fight, and it's going to be a very interesting fight because they know each other so well. And if Abner Mares thinks he's going to fight that physical kind of fight that we've seen the last 2 or 3 times, he's really putting himself at tremendous risk because de Leon's a southpaw with a big left hand. So Mares has to be smarter, go back to the old Mares that we saw when we first learned about him, box, and if he boxes and boxes well and has the focus to stay with that style, he can win a decision.
All right, a final word about the main event then. We had a chance to be in the fighter meetings, talk with these two fighters, and I think what really impressed me more than anything else was all the bravado and all the jousting with verbal jousting is kind of behind them now. And these guys, they may as well have had a briefcase coming to the meeting because it was business and only business for both of them. I like that.
Especially with Mayweather. I mean, shockingly so. At the final press conference, Ruben Guerrero went off a little bit and Mayweather stayed so calm. It's like, I'm going to be the mature one here. And you're right. All the talk, that's to sell the fight. Now they have to fight the fight. That's the interesting part. And for a lot of reasons, I kind of look at this as the start of the last chapter of Mayweather's career. First time with Showtime, coming off the prison stint, a year off. He's 36 now. He's probably going to fight only very high-quality opposition, Barry, from here on in. So this is the first fight of the rest of Floyd Mayweather's career.
Well, you and I have been talking about this fight for a long time, as everybody has. But one thing we do agree about, and that is if Guerrero's going to win this fight, he's got to make it ugly. He's got to really turn this into a brawl.
Most definitely. That's his best chance. I don't think anybody thinks that Robert Guerrero is going to outbox Floyd Mayweather. But you know what? Guerrero, for a guy who's jumped up in weight from 35 to 47, 2 divisions, he sure showed a lot of physical strength in his fights against Aiden and Berto, and that's got to be his ticket to victory. He's got to be very aggressive. Watch, as Al mentioned before, watch out for the referee, see if he has to play a part in this fight.
One thing about a big fight, everybody's got an opinion. That's ours. Let's take it back upstairs now to Brian Kenny and the guys.
And there's some who have the opinions based on decades of experience, like Barry and Steve. It's a little better than your regular opinion. Pulling out quickly, they were talking about Daniel Ponce de Leon and Abner Mares. Any advantage or disadvantage thinking you know a guy from the gym, but when you meet in the ring in front of the lights and the crowd, is it any different?
It could be some subtle differences. When you're sparring in the gym, you're using either 14 or 16-ounce gloves. Then you get in there, they're 8-ounce gloves. So the speed of everything is a bit sharper. It's a bit quicker. The punches hurt a little more. So under the lights, the crowd, everything. There's little subtle things that can change. So you can't just automatically assume just because you've sparred a guy and you've done well with him that you can have success fighting him. I mean, it's good for psychologically, especially if you've got the better of him in the gym. But things change between the time you may have sparred and the time you're fighting. And also, like I said, the subtle things, the intangibles, they make a difference too.
Daniel Ponce de Leon is the WBC featherweight champion of the world. He's the one defending the title tonight against Abner Mares. Jim Gray is standing by with the champ. Jim.
Thanks, Brian. Felix de Jesus will translate. Daniel, let me ask you, you know each other quite well. You're stablemates. You guys have been involved on numerous occasions and so familiar. Does that make it easier to fight or more difficult?
¿Lo hace más difícil o más fácil que ustedes han entrenado todos juntos?
No. Va a ser mejor porque así nos conocemos y los estilos se pueden acoplar rápido y podemos dar una buena pelea.
It's going to be much better that they know each other because now he knows his style and Abner knows his style, so they both know each other very well.
What is his strengths? What will you try and avoid and take him out of since you do know him so well?
¿Qué son las fuerzas que tiene Abner?
Bueno, él ahora como me siento ahorita, me siento bien fuerte, ya después de haber dado el peso ayer, bien poderoso, bien fuerte. No creo que va a estar más fuerte que yo. Lo voy a sentir en el ring y no creo que él va a estar más fuerte que yo.
Right now I feel very powerful, and I think he's also powerful, but right now the way he feels much more powerful than Abner Mares.
And perhaps do you feel that because you are moving up in weight, he is moving up in weight, and from where he was to 122, do you feel as though that's an advantage?
¿Tú crees que es una ventaja que él está subiendo de peso para enfrentarte?
Oh, sí, porque yo también ya he subido de peso y pues es difícil adaptarse de una pelea a otra, no pierde una pegada, punch y poder, así que tiene tiempo para adaptarse a este peso.
I definitely think so. I think it takes a while to adapt to this extra weight, and it's going to be a little trouble for him to adapt, like he had a little trouble adapting.
You told us in the fighter meeting you feel as though you have to stop him early to avoid a war. You still feeling that today? And if so, why?
En el meeting tú dijiste que tenía que terminarlo temprano para evitar una guerra. ¿Todavía piensas así?
Oh, sí, yo así pienso, para eso me preparé, para venir a acabarlo rápido, pero si no, pues vamos a pelear 12 rounds, desde que suene la campana hasta que se acabe la pelea, yo no me voy a descansar.
Definitely, his strategy is to come out and fight and try to eliminate him immediately. But if it doesn't happen and it goes into a war, he's also prepared for that.
Why are you so relaxed? Why are you so calm? You're getting ready to fight.
¿Por qué está tan relajado y va a pelear en unos minutos?
Porque tanta experiencia que tengo fe en Dios y vengo bien, espiritualmente bien fuerte, físicamente bien fuerte, así que Dios está conmigo, ¿qué contra mí?
He believes in God, he's very spiritual, and he's done this before, so he knows what he's going to do.
Muchas gracias. Good luck tonight. We'll talk to you afterwards.
Thank you.
Okay. Brian, back out to you.
Jim, thank you so much. Again, as we get a little bit closer now to the main event, and that's Floyd Mayweather and Robert Guerrero. It's funny because Guerrero earlier this week said, boy, Floyd's been quiet as a church mouse. And I think I set him straight. It wasn't always that way. Floyd is not always very quiet. This is the first time those two went face-to-face back at a promo shoot. Take a look.
Robert, you ready?
Well, I slept in today. And I apologize to everyone for being late. I'm not going to say I won't be late again because that's not true. But I can promise you this. When I do come, I'm going to have an arsenal of entertainment.
That's all right, yeah.
This is a real deal. 17 years, this is a real deal. Now,
hey, this is what I asked
you facing
for.
a real one.
This is what I asked
and this
for.
is
This
what
is
you're
what
going
I'm
to get.
getting.
You're going to get this.
That's what I want, the real deal.
The raw dog. This is the real one.
Floyd's trying to be Floyd, you know, how he intimidates everybody, gets under their skin. I never lost, this and that, blah, blah, blah.
Easy work.
You ain't intimidating.
I ain't got to worry about it. I don't know who you beat. I don't know who you lost to. I don't know who you beat.
Nah, bro, you're just wasting time right here talking.
I don't know who you beat. I don't know who you lost to.
Nothing at all he said got me heated or anything. Because if I get heated, I'm swinging.
You ain't got nothing but space and opportunity. You ain't gonna do nothing.
I want you to be ready for May 4th. That's
okay,
it.
you ain't gonna do nothing, so I can get close to what I want. We're gonna fight May 4th, and I'm gonna be at my best. And I can't really say what he's gonna do, but I can always tell you what I'm gonna do. Tune in May 4th.
Well, let's do it toe to toe.
However you want it. That's how I'm gonna give it to you.
You guys heard that? Toe to toe.
I'm giving it to you just like you want it.
Toe to toe.
Just like you want it.
And while we're watching that, Al Bernstein said, I also cannot promise I won't sleep in and miss rehearsals and all sorts of other technical things, but I will show up for the fight itself. And we appreciate that about you, Al. I love that. Hey, quickly, Paulie, what do you make of all of that? About standing a guy back, or does it matter?
Well, you know, it has its psychological advantages. You got to understand that was the first photo shoot. That was when they first had signed the fight. So there's a saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. So this was Mayweather's chance to make a first impression on Guerrero as far as being on the big stage. So he was trying to psychologically get in his head. I think it was a veteran move, but at the end of the day, if Robert Guerrero is made to be on this stage, if he's ready to be on the stage, it's not something that should affect him.
Now, come on, my paisan knows a thing or two about getting in someone's face and trying to make that first impression here.
That's your thing. I mean, we know that's going to come from you, right? Wow. And your next opponent.
Well,
that's a given.
It's also a Mayweather thing.
Abner Mares, by the way, we talked about Daniel Ponce de Leon. Jim Gray is with Abner Mares. We'll have our final thoughts right after this. First, Jim Gray.
All right, Brian, thanks once again. Abner, we just spoke to Daniel. You guys are so familiar with one another. I asked him if that's an advantage or a disadvantage. How do you feel about that?
For me, it's either or. I mean, I'm just taking this fight as someone I don't know. You know, a fight that was just brought up, and we study him, and we got the perfect plan to beat Daniel Ponce de Leon. It's time to execute and do my thing, inside the ring.
And give us a portion of that plan.
Just be smart. Be a smarter fighter, and just do what I know what to do, and based on my talent.
How much do you respect his power? And you're coming up in weight, so he's obviously been at this weight and can use that to his advantage. How much do you respect that power?
I won't know until I fight him. You know what I'm saying? I can't go in there respecting his power without even knowing how hard he hits. I know he does. I've seen him in some knockouts, but he hasn't hit me yet. So once I go in that ring and I feel it, then we'll see.
Is he going to have to find you tonight, or are you ready for a war?
You'll find out tonight. You'll find out tonight.
No preview.
No. It's like I told you guys, I got the Mexican judo. You don't know if I'm going to box, or you don't know if I'm going to brawl.
All right. We'll see what the judo brings. Thanks, Abner. Brian, back upstairs.
The The Mexican judo. There you go. That's quick thoughts on the main event as we talk more about Floyd Mayweather and Robert Guerrero. I know something that we looked at early, and Paulie, fill us in on that. Is there something you look for early to see? Is Guerrero, does he have a chance here of being effective?
Oh, I think he's going to want to impose himself early. If he can't get something going early, if Floyd starts to nullify him early, it could be a long night.
Al?
You know, that a small point about that photo shoot. Guerrero had the flu that day, so for him to stand up to Mayweather, that was a good time for Mayweather to try and do some Jedi mind games. So, but you know what? Guerrero came back from it.
Las Vegas judo. Yes. More final thoughts.
Well, it's coming down to this. Robert Guerrero says that he is the first opponent that has not been mentally broken down by Mayweather. We're going to find out in the main event if he can avoid being physically broken down by the champ.
The thing I look for is, can he touch his face? I remember Victor Ortiz, I'm watching that going, he's touching Floyd's face. Nobody touches Floyd's face. Let's see if he can touch him early, he can touch him a lot more later on. I'll be looking for that early. So as we're getting ready for the main event, as we get ready also to look at the bunch of the fights that we have here with a deep card with Ponce de Leon against Abner Maris, Leo Santa Cruz on as well. As far as the event itself, we wonder now, the aging process, Al, all the things that you've seen, everybody says, oh yeah, that's everybody else, and now you can point to Bernard Hopkins, 36 years old. What does that mean to the modern athlete with modern training techniques?
I think Floyd Mayweather's in a unique position to be a very good 36-year-old. He has the skill set. It's not just all about athletic ability, as Paulie pointed out before, and he's a fighter who I think is the poster kid for being a really good fighter in your middle 30s.
He has not been roughed up in his career. He has not taken a beating. How much does that matter at the age of 36, Paulie?
It does matter because it's longevity. You know, those wars, those tough fights, they catch up to you. But if you can avoid them, you last longer.
Yeah, we're getting thrown off by Bernard Hopkins at 48. He's still winning belts, right? I mean, but it's just crazy. I mean, we can't just judge everybody by that, right, Mauro?
No, you cannot judge everybody by that because Floyd Money Mayweather is a unique physical specimen, a unique individual. There's a reason he is the highest paid athlete in sports. The guy, you can say what you will about his personality, his temperament, and some people feel that he's mellowed out. He's becoming very calmer, a little more introspective, but at the end of the day, he's the pound-for-pound king for a reason, and he wants to be money once again here at MGM Grand.
Look, it's up on the hat. Money, power, respect. It's not hard to figure out what he is after. It's not the money, it's the money and what it represents. Our all-access cameras have been following both Floyd Mayweather and Robert Guerrero as they prepared for the fight. Here's a look now at the final 3 days leading up to tonight's showdown.
It is 3 days until fight night, and final preparations are underway as the city begins to heat up. It's not a sin to live in Las Vegas, but it is hot as hell, especially on the cusp of a Mayweather weekend.
Time slipping away. Yeah, I can't say what I do.
It always feels good to go anywhere in a country and see your face on billboards. When I was young, I was like, one day, it will be me. The only thing I could do is just wait my turn. But after being in the sport 17 years and seeing your face all around the world, of course it becomes normal to you.
Floyd Mayweather is good for Las Vegas. It is estimated that 250,000 people will be in town for this fight. And those people will generate over $100 million in revenue.
I could sit right here all day and tell you different ways that money is being generated. All the hotels, all the rental cars, shows on the strip, the food. I mean, and the list goes on and on. I ran all the way down, went to Popeye.
That yours?
Yeah, when I got old school. That's before you was born. You seen me fight before? You never seen me fight?
Just
on TV?
I just saw
All access?
boxing With you and Gorillas?
You mean who?
Gorilla?
Who?
The guy you're fighting with.
Guerrero? Oh, you don't know his name. Of course you don't know his name, because I barely know his name, so you're not going to know his name neither.
I wish Floyd fighted when he just starts, he just knocks him out. I wish you did that really quick.
No. Sometimes we don't want to rush. You know? If you take your time, you get it done right. But if you rush, you tend to stumble. But when you take your time and focus, you get it done right.
I ain't never seen nothing like it, champ. I've been fighting pro since I've been a teenager, and I ain't far from 40. You name them, I beat them already.
I'm a student of the game. I studied the fight game for years.
17 years champion of the world undefeated.
To be the best athlete to ever live, I gotta push myself that much harder. I know if another guy's working 10 rounds on the bag, I got to work 30 rounds on the bag. If he's boxing 10 rounds in the gym, I gotta box 17 rounds in the gym.
Dedication.
I always gotta outdo the person that's on my left and the person that's on my right. I want to be the best.
Robert Guerrero is lending his name to the Be The Match Foundation, an organization that helps cancer patients receive life-saving transplants.
The National Bone Marrow Registry is where my wife found her donor. You know, it saved her life, so we give back as much as we can. Having the opportunity to be a professional athlete, millions of people looking up to you, the impact you could have being in that position. It's incredible. If you look at Floyd early in his career, Floyd was a good guy. He always carried himself in a good manner, never disrespected anybody, and then it just flipped. It changed. Everything just spiraled out of control. I'm the highest paid athlete ever. I got this, I got that. And it got worse and worse. He just has the opportunity to just, inspire so many people. Instead, he turned a lot of them off. I just think he could do a lot better job, because he is truly blessed to be in his position. That's why I'm here to take that crown.
Okay, Robert, turn the TV off. Eight weeks has been hard. Obviously, the kids miss him. So I'm excited. I can't wait to see him. I'll see you on Wednesday. The kids can't wait to see their dad. They're like so excited. When are we gonna go see Dad? Come on, let's go. We're off to Vegas.
When I see my kids, that's when fight mode really goes into effect. That's when I see them, I know, hey, I got a job to do. I got my family relying on me.
He wants them to be at his fight. Because we're away from each other for so long, he can't be with them. So I take him to every single fight and they watch.
Good luck for the upcoming bout.
Thank you.
I'm rooting for your husband.
Thank you. It makes me nervous now that knowing it's like a couple days away. So I gotta get ready for that. It's hard. You're seeing your husband like getting punched. It's like, you don't want to, I don't know. I know he's gonna do good, but it scares me, like when he gets punched and stuff. I don't know why I'm crying right now. After the fight, it's gonna be nice because he'll be back at home with us and, doing family stuff like before.
Dad!
Oh, there's your dad. Yay! Look at Dad's on the taxi. High five.
What's up? Oh, good to see my kids. Get to see them before I gotta go to work. Right there, it lights a fire under me even more when I see them the week of the fight. Yeah, okay, we're getting full. Here, let me throw you in.
Next Sunday, he's going to be champion again and pound for pound king. I'm totally excited for him. This has been his dream his whole life.
1, 2, 3.
Good job.
There's a tension building at the MGM Grand as preparations are underway for the onslaught of media descending on Las Vegas.
I've been in camp for 2 months, and now it's time to go out there and take care of business. I knew that I was gonna have to do a lot of media stuff going into this fight, so you just gotta prepare yourself the best you can.
Welcome back to Rome. My guest tonight is a 6-time boxing world champion in 4 weight divisions. I'm joined by Robert the Ghost Guerrero.
Last rounds we're getting, and we're done. Ready for the fight.
Mayweather is the sport's pound-for-pound best. He's still unbeaten, yet you're telling anybody who will listen that you're going to be the guy who beats him. What makes you so sure?
I'm gonna go out there and work as hard as I can. Go out there and beat everybody that gets in front of me. Floyd's gonna be seeing these all night long.
We got him red, because we don't want the blood to show too much.
This is probably the last day he's gonna working hard.
He's ready.
Floyd, the sparring partners only today. Everyone else must leave. Thank you.
Today's the final sparring session for him. I don't see him getting any more sharper than what he is. He's unhuman strong.
He could be the best fighter in the world. He can still be beat if you work hard and you do what you gotta do.
Well, he have a better chance of going to hell than fucking with Floyd.
It looks different inside that ring with Floyd Mayweather. He gonna say he's faster than what I thought he was. His defense is better than what I thought it was. And he's gonna be able to tell that this fighter that's in front of me has a lot of experience.
Let him talk and let him talk. At the end of the day, I know I'm in shape, ready to go, and just be ready to fight.
After all the hype, all the preparations, today, Robert Guerrero and Floyd Mayweather will meet face to face for only the second time in their lives.
He's a 6-time and 4-division world champion, Robert the Ghost Guerrero.
Records are made to be broken. May 4th, Floyd Mayweather's record is going to get broken. He's going to have his first loss. You better believe that.
In training camp, did I push myself to the limit? Absolutely. My dad done a tremendous job. My Uncle Roger done a tremendous job. Team Mayweather done a tremendous job. Only thing I can do is continue to go out there, rack up victories, and be the best that I can be. Thank you.
You guys like that shit? Like this guy? I'm the real deal, and I don't talk shit, man. I back it up.
Sit down, your old ass. You the rhino. Chill out, sucker.
See how he's gonna like it?
When I whoop your ass, you gonna know what.
Shut the fuck up. All right, it's okay. It's okay.
Ah, that's bullshit, baby.
Let me,
Don't say that. He talked about my son. He's a hypocrite. How about him?
All right, now.
Come on. Hit me, brother. Hit me. Come on.
You hit me.
Do it. Let's do it right now.
Let go.
Hit me.
Motherfucker, I beat you.
Look at he's scared. He's scared, baby.
Yeah, you the one who I came up here to kick you in your punk ass.
He won't.
You sissy motherfucker, you.
This is all real. This ain't talk. This guy, he's the real deal. Hey, that's Mr. All Access right here.
You see, they ain't scared of the fighter or the daddy. I put both of their ass.
Hey, no, you cut. Hey, no, listen, you cussing on. No, you cussing on. I'm trying to do it. I'm sorry. You don't gotta fight. Don't worry about that. You bigger than that.
You're gonna talk about me and say things about me? Oh well, you still gotta fight me. It ain't gonna change anything.
My father cannot fight his father. It's all about the fighters fighting. So,
You know, I try not to worry about that. I go out there and do what I got to do. Let's keep my composure, box, and listen to the game plan.
I think this is his first time to the big dance. I've been here, you know, for a very, very long time, and I know what it takes when it's a fight of this magnitude. When I was young at one particular time, you know, I was wild. You know, now I'm a lot older, a lot more mature. I'm like, I leave that stuff behind me.
All of a sudden, he's a Mr. Nice Guy now. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. His head's this big now. You know what I mean? He thinks he owns everything.
Floyd Mayweather's not used to this happening to him. He hasn't had a camp stand up to him and tell him stuff right there in his face.
What I do is, whatever you do good, the best thing you do good, I don't care what fighter you are, I take that away from you.
What do you think Guerrero does good?
Holds behind the head and punches.
Well, thank you very much. That's awesome.
Tonight, Floyd Mayweather and Robert Guerrero will face off in front of nearly 17,000 fans at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Training is over. The work has been put in. The only thing left is to step into the ring.
Don't play with me when you should be saving me, making me feel your pressure. Oh, don't play with me unless you're taking me to a place where I can feel pressure. Gotta be mad.
On the verge of your dreams, it is the road behind that has gotten you here.
I've seen my wife battle cancer. I've seen her fight for her life. All that stuff right there preps you out to be mentally strong.
Years at the top can stretch a man, but with age comes the ease and wisdom to keep all the pieces together.
My dad and my Uncle Roger, both are two great trainers. Everything is playing out like it should play out.
This is one of those events that God's gonna act big.
This is not about religion. Once again, this is about fighting. God don't choose a certain side.
Let's go! Hard time! Dedication!
May 4th is as much about two families as it is two fighters. Generations born into boxing, raising one another towards something greater. But now, forever.
It's Mayday.
Mayday. It's a cry for help.
Tell me how you want it. The raw dog. This the real one.
Mayweather's 44th victory may seem inevitable, but Robert Guerrero knows life is not predetermined. Anything can change.
Out with the old, in with the new. He's had his time in boxing, now it's my time.
All 43 said it. I think fighters need to come up with a new game plan, honestly.
And if you were looking for a little preview for the main event, just listen to what Floyd said at the beginning of that piece, telling that young child in the gym, take your time, get it done right, don't rush. That's the way he's going to fight tonight. It's the way he's fought all through his career, and that has served him well. 43-0, 26 KOs. Floyd Mayweather taking on Robert the Ghost Guerrero, coming up 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, available only on Showtime pay-per-view. Again, Mayweather and Guerrero. Also, you'll get to see another world championship fight. Daniel Ponce de Leon defending his WBC featherweight title against the two-division champ Abner Maris, plus those other two fights, including you get to see Leo Santa Cruz. Well, we hope you enjoyed it, everybody, and we hope you're getting ready for more boxing this evening here from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Much more coming your way. That'll do it for us right now on May Day Live as you're looking here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena as the fans continue to filter in for what should be a tremendous night of boxing. Coming up 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, the Showtime pay-per-view special, Floyd Mayweather versus Robert Guerrero for the welterweight championship of the world. Thanks for listening in, everybody. We hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to seeing you back here in Las Vegas.